En hierdie keer praat ons oor buitenste wesens.
Buitenste wesens.
Ek dink ek het 'n buitenste wese ervaring gehad gisterand. 'n Buitenste wese het bo my kop so gehover, nê? Nee? Toe maak hy my aan die slaap en toe maak dit dat ek nooit weer opstaan nie, want ek het vanoggend net gemaak.
Ja.
Wekker het nie gewerk nie, niks het gewerk nie. Jy het my probeer bel. Dit was 'n buitenste wese ervaring.
Ik maak net een grapje.
Oei, gaat ons weer, Tannie, gaat ons weer nog kappie in haar
But
hoekie.
listen, we are talking about UFOs, unidentified flying objects. Of course, in Joburg, there were sightings of lights in the sky, and people thought that it was a UFO, because there have been quite a few sightings like this over the last couple of months in and around South Africa and the world. And people are, I don't know, highly fascinated with aliens and the existence of aliens.
What do you think, though? You know, are we alone in the universe?
I choose to believe that we are alone.
Oh, so you choose
I want to believe.
believe.
I don't want to wake up like Independence Day, walk out of my house and see like this massive spaceship in the
Yeah,
sky.
but you know what's interesting?
That's there to take me out.
We never spot UFOs in Cape Town or in Randburg. It's always in like the Free State or in Potch, you know.
Where in Potch? No, we don't have UFOs. But I'm saying no. I think that's what most people think. Like, you know, when you think of the concept of UFOs and you think, oh, we don't want Independence Day to happen. You know, we don't have those kind of jets to fight them. But what if UFOs are like friendly little squishy Teletubbies and
Never.
they come in peace and all they want to do is tell us about the foreign world and galaxies they come from?
Excuse me, I watched Prometheus a few days ago.
Ach,
They're not
nee.
friendly.
Ach,
they
nee.
ain't friendly. They
You
here
want-
to cause a fight. They want to fight.
I don't know. Tell us on Facebook. You know, do you think we are alone in the universe, or do you walk around thinking, doo, 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 doo?
There's other existence. I do think they exist. But you know what they say, seeing is believing. I'm yet to believe it when I can see it.
When you
like
can
right
see
here.
it.
Well,
That's actually pretty weird that you say that.
Yeah, I would believe it if I see it.
Okay.
Well, we have prepared a
believe
little
there's air?
something for you guys, and we do believe that the truth is out there, so check this out.
No one can forget the iconic spacecraft from the movie District 9, hovering menacingly over Johannesburg city centre. Alien spacecraft have captured the imaginations of humankind since the beginning of time. But this Sunday, Twitter and Facebook went crazy as locals in the Free State began submitting photos of a strange object in the sky at 7 p.m, something they claimed was a UFO. UFO watch lists went wild online. The hashtag UFO Johannesburg was a top 10 trending topic on Twitter. It's not the first time someone has claimed to spot a UFO. There are thousands of YouTube videos claiming to capture UFOs in the South African night sky, and one Google Earth image shows an actual UFO in the street view above Cape Point. Whether this was a hoax by Google or someone else, no one knows, but the image has since been removed. As far as the mysterious light on Sunday night goes, that UFO turned out to be Elon Musk's Falcon 9 rocket entering the Earth's orbit, and the circular light comes from the rocket dumping fuel at 6:50 p.m, exactly around the time South Africans spotted their so-called UFO in the night sky. But with so many people spotting UFOs so often, is there a logical explanation, or could it be something else?
Well, Facebook and Twitter were in a frenzy yesterday with pictures of an alleged UFO sighting in the skies between the town of Bethlehem or somewhere in the Free State. And we look at this and people have claimed it before. It's not the first time that people have said in South African skies that there might be life after life or even other life around us. And we definitely want to get to the bottom of this. So we made sure that we got Dr. Shireen Mohammed. She's an astronomist, South African astronomical from Observatory, and comforting all of us and getting us some information as to what is going on. Doctor, welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning.
Now, what are the most common explanations for UFO sightings? I mean, are our planets to blame? Is it real?
Yes, it usually turns out that when someone sees a really, really bright light in the sky, it's usually one of the planets, mostly Venus or Jupiter. And what's happening is on a very dark, moonless night, often you'll see a very, very bright Venus because it's reflecting light from the sun. So usually it's the planets that are to blame.
Now, as a member of the observatory, I'm just curious, are you always on the lookout for UFOs? Do you believe that aliens exist?
As a member of the observatory, I'm actually a theorist, so I work on computer simulations.
Right.
But we're always interested in what's going on in the night sky. Many of us are very curious, inquisitive people, and we're interested in trying to understand what's going on around us. So we're always just happy when people are looking up at the night sky and we're trying to figure out what's out there. We're more interested in trying to understand what the objects are, investigating them and figuring out what's going on.
Now, it poses the question immediately, you know, seeing is believing. What are people seeing when they see this? Is it an alien?
Actually, it would be more exciting if it was, but it usually turns out to be something a bit more mundane than that. Often satellites, military flares. For example, if the military are doing night exercises, sometimes they release really bright flares, or military aircraft, weather balloons. A very, very good culprit for these sort of flying information things are the Chinese lanterns that people sometimes release when they're having holidays or weddings, because it looks like, you know, lights, you know, flying all at once together in some kind of strange formation.
Doctor, one more question.
Meteors also, sometimes you can get a very, very bright fireball as the dust falls through our atmosphere and heats up. So yeah, usually it turns out to be not as exciting as we would hope, but I mean, this is about science and investigation, so we're always trying to find out what the root cause is. And unfortunately, so far, most of the time we can find a really sort of everyday explanation to what we see.
Thank you very much, Doctor. That's unfortunately all we have time for this morning, but you shed some light onto it. Dr. Shazreen Mohammed, astrophysicist for South Africa and also part of the observatory, as I mentioned earlier. Well, now we can at least take to our social network platforms, I guess, if you do spot one, because who do you call if you do see a UFO?